Hi, fifth graders. Welcome to your first lesson from your Math Expressions series, Unit 1, Lesson 1, Introducing the Math Board. Our learning target for today is I'll be able to use fraction bars to discuss basic fraction ideas. Now, when you're in school with me, we'll actually have some boards that have fraction bars on them that we'll practice with. But for those of you at home, you're just going to have to follow along for today. I want to go through a couple vocabulary words, a few vocabulary words here, and I think you know most of these. So we've got denominator, numerator, fraction, unit fraction. So I'm just going to write a fraction on the board, right? And you remember that the bottom number is the denominator and the top number is the numerator. Okay? The denominator tells you how many pieces you're talking about. So if I have a pie, and I cut it into 4 pieces, that's where the fourth comes from, 4 pieces. The 3 comes from how many of those 4 pieces you're talking about. So I'm going to shade 3. So there's my diagram for 3/4. Unit fraction might be a new word for you, and a lot of parents are confused by it, but really, unit fractions are so easy. All a unit fraction is a fraction with a 1 in the numerator. So 1/2 is a unit fraction, 1/3 is a unit fraction, 1/17 is a unit fraction, 1/112 is a unit fraction. So when you're talking about one of a certain group of pieces, it's a unit fraction. All right, so this is a little bit like the math board we have on our whiteboards, and notice that each of these rectangles, one underneath the other, are all the same length. They're all the same size, only they're divided into different pieces. So the first one is halves. Okay, so you've got 2. I'm just going to do the unit fractions for these. So one of those unit fractions would be 1/2. The next one is divided into thirds. So one of those unit fractions would be 1/3. Fourths, there's going to be 4 fourths in that one whole. One unit fraction would be 1/4. Next up, fifths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces, 5/5 in one whole. One of those is going to be 1/5. And I could keep going, but I think you see the pattern. This would be 1/6, 1/7, and so on. What I want you to look at is the size of the pieces. 1/2 is bigger than 1/3. 1/3 is bigger than 1/4. 1/4 is bigger than 1/5. So as we're going down, the pieces are getting smaller. It's kind of backwards, isn't it? Because the numbers over here are getting bigger in the denominator, yet the pieces are getting smaller. So the smaller the numerator, or the smaller the denominator, the bigger the piece. All right, so let's go back to this one. All right, so what do you notice about the unit fraction on each bar? The unit fraction on each bar is just one piece. It's 1 over some denominator. The denominator tells you how many pieces are in each one. And what happens is the denominator increases, so as you go from 1/2 to 1/3 to 1/4 to 1/5, as you go that way and the denominator increases, the pieces get smaller. In our classroom, maybe you noticed that we have this fraction poster on the board, and we have it there for you to take a look at. A little more colorful, but it's kind of blurry on this one. All right, we're going to try some problem solving with fractions. How can you build one whole by adding unit fractions? Well, let's take thirds to start with. So my one whole is broken into 3 parts. This little piece is 1/3. That's a unit fraction. How many of those 1/3s do we need to make the whole thing? Well, there's 1/3. We can add that 1/3, and we can add that 1/3. So how many of those, that makes 3/3 or 1 whole. How many of those did we need? 1, 2, 3. We needed 3 unit fractions to make 1 whole. How about if we have fifths? Oh, that's fourths. Sorry. All right. It should be equal sizes, right? But I think you get my idea. So how many fifths would you need to make one whole? Well, there's 1/5. There's 1/5. There's 1/5. Here's 1/5. And last 1/5. So really we could write this like an addition problem. How many 1/5ths do you need to make 5/5ths or one whole? 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, let's say you had sevenths. How many unit fractions would you need? Well, each one's going to be 1/7. How many of those ones would you need to get to 7/7? 7. All right. 2 more questions. What does the denominator tell us? How many pieces the whole is broken into? What does the numerator tell us? How many of those pieces we're talking about? All right, if you're at home, I'd like for you to open up your textbook to page 3. You can pause anytime you want down at the bottom. Remember, there's that little squarish parallel line button that you can press to pause. So on page 3, we see a letter from the Puzzled Penguin. Maybe you had the Puzzled Penguin in your math textbook when you were a little bit younger. I'm not sure if you guys had a math expressions textbook or not. But the Puzzled Penguin is always confused. And he looks kind of confused there, doesn't he? He writes a letter, and we have to respond back to him in a letter form. So here's his letter to you. Dear math students, my friend and I have 1/3 of a pie. I told my friend that if we combined our thirds, we would have 2/6 of a pie. My friend said I was wrong. Can you help me understand my mistake? Your friend, the Puzzled Penguin. And over here he's showing his math. 1/3 plus 1/3 is 2/6. All right, we're going to write a response back to him. And rather than writing out Puzzled Penguin, we're just going to abbreviate his name to PP. So it's Dear PP. Funny, right? Okay, I want you to pause if you're at home, and I'd like for you to tell him where his mistake was. All right, there's more than one answer that you could have put for this to be correct. Maybe you drew a picture. Maybe you drew something that was drawn into thirds with a pie like this, or a fraction bar, and you drew this, 1/3 and 1/3. That's going to be 2/3, right? Maybe you wrote 1/3 plus 1/3 is 2/3. Or maybe you said something like, you can't change the numerator, you added the denominators, because 3 plus 3 is 6. And you can't do that because you don't have any 6's here. All you have is thirds. Those thirds don't suddenly become 6's. All right. We're going to move on. Dear math students, I told my teacher that since 3 is less than 4, 1/3 is less than 1/4. My teacher said that I was not correct. Can you explain to me why? Your friend, the Puzzled Penguin. All right, if you're at home, you're going to pause right now and write Dear PP and write your response. All right, you could do this again a couple of different ways. You could draw a picture. You could draw 2 equal fraction bars and cut one into thirds and the other one into fourths, and you could quite clearly see that 1/3 is bigger than 1/4. You might have written something like this, and if you didn't come up with an answer for that, that's okay. You can take my answer. You might have written something like this. Dear Puzzled Penguin, the smaller the denominator, the bigger the fraction. Or you could have actually said the opposite, couldn't you? The bigger the denominator, the smaller the fraction. So if I were to put something like this, comparing these two fractions, You should be able to look just right at those because they both are unit fractions. They both have a 1 in the numerator. Which one's going to be bigger? The eighth is going to be bigger because the smaller the denominator, the bigger the piece, the bigger the fraction. All right. Excuse me. So those of you at home, you don't have this in your textbook, don't worry. We're just going to take a break from that textbook, but leave it out because we're going to move on to it in a minute. We're going to try some word problems with our fraction bars. Mr. Ellis is building a sidewalk. Yesterday, he built 2/6 of the sidewalk. Today, he built 3/6 of the sidewalk. What fraction of the sidewalk has he built? Now, some of you will be able to do this problem in your head. Some of you will write it as an addition problem. Oops, I told you it was addition. And some of you might want to use the fraction bars. Okay, I'm going to model with the fraction bars first. So I'm going to go down to the sixes right here. There's 6 pieces. And yesterday he built 2/6, so you could either shade them or circle them. So 2/6 and then another 3/6 today. And how much has he done? Well, it's an adding problem. 2/6 plus 3/6 is 5/6. Sometimes they get a little tricky. They might ask you something like, how much does he have left to go? Oh, how would you know that? Well, if he's done 5/6, this is the only one that's left. There's just 1/6 left. Here's another problem. We had 5/8 of a pizza, and then we ate 3/8. How much pizza was left? This one gets a little tricky because they didn't start out with a whole pizza. They started out with 5/8. Maybe it was left over from dinner last night. And then they ate 3/8, and there's still some left. How much? Well, some of you, again, can do that in your head. Some of you are going to want to go down to the fraction bars and use those. So I'm going to show with the fraction bars again. So I'm going to start out with 5/8. Oops, sorry, not fifths. 5/8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here we go. So that's how much they started out with. And then they ate 3. 1, 2, 3. How much is left? 2. 2/8. 5/8 minus 3/8 is 2/8. One more. Petra reads 6/10 of her book, and then she reads another 3/10. How much of her book is left to read? Okay, I'm going to scroll down here. So I'm going to write those numbers. 6/10, 3/10 over here where you can see them. So way down over here are the tenths. Again, 10/10, 1 whole. So she read 6/10. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then she read another 3/10. 1, 2, 3. So I see that she has read 9/10. But that's not what they asked me. They didn't say how much did she read. They said how much of her book is left for her to read. How much didn't she read? And the answer is going to be this little piece right here, 1/10. So you got to really think about it when you're answering these questions. Now, back in your textbook, we're going to try some problems. We're on page 4, number 3. Garrett is reading a book for his history class. He's read 3/8 so far. If he reads 2/8 today, how much will he have finished by the end of the day? Pause your video and write your answer. I'm hoping that you got 5/8. And again, those fraction bars are there for if you want them. Next one. In a survey, 3/10 of the students chose Friday and 5/10 of the students chose Saturday as their favorite day of the week. What fraction of the students chose either Friday or Saturday? Pause and answer. I'm hoping you said 8/10. It's really an addition problem. 3 and 5 would be 8/10. Okay, pause and answer the last 2 questions. All right, here's the answer for number 5. So he has 5/6 of a mile. So this whole thing is a mile. Okay, he has only 5/6 to go, and he's walked 3 so far. How much left? 2/6. And the last one, your answer would be 4/5. It's an addition problem. All right, when you get done, you've got some homework to do. Good luck.